can hear you. Come on.
All right, thank you. My name is Bankole Balikis, and I'm presenting on the topic change management for tech professionals. And then we are all tech professionals, right? And working on various projects at one point or another, right? And then while working on projects, there are some reasons why we want to add one or two features to the projects we are working on. So how do we manage it without losing control? Because it is inevitable in what we are doing in project handling. If we say we don't want change or we don't want to update on what we are doing, that means we are not progressing. But when we are adding changes, how do we manage it in a structured way? That is what I'll be talking about this morning. Next slide, please. Okay. So excuse me, as I've said, how do we manage change and what is change itself? Change is the structured approach that we use in managing projects. What are we managing in a project? It could be the requirements, scope, process, and the technology so that we can all be in alignment when we are adding various features to the projects we are working on. In the course of this session, I'll be using a case study of Guest Hub, right? It is a platform that connects homeowners with travelers, and we are trying to build this project from scratch for users. Okay, so when we are managing a project and we have it in mind that, okay, we are going to build this product for users, for them to be able to access homes, apartments, whenever they travel to any location. Okay, and then we start with, okay, let's build this product. Everyone is in alignment. Okay, we are building a product that will connect homeowners with travelers. That is the goal. So how do we get started? We want to gather requirements and then know that this is what we are achieving. When we are gathering our requirements, right, we want to okay, travelers should be able to have access to homes, apartments, okay? And before they can have access, they must have login, like sign up, authentication page, so to say. So we've agreed that, okay, once travelers can have access to this platform, then on the other hand, homeowners should be able to list their properties. And that is the main goal. But while we have agreed on this scope, in the process of doing this, stakeholders come with different opinions, probably visiting their competitor sites or looking at what is evolving in the area of AI. Okay, why can't we add a chatbot features that will allow users to be able to chat on the platform? But we need to put something into consideration. What are the things we need to do first? Fine, this is necessary, right? But let's firstly build the necessary things, okay? That is why change happens. So change happens just to ensure that we are improving the product instead of creating chaos, right? We look at the Sorry, I'm struggling to see this. We look at the scope of the project, the requirements, the processes, the technology, so that everybody can be in alignment, right? We know that, okay, customer need this. Next slide, please. Okay. The reason why change happens is what I've explained earlier, because of customers' needs, right? Stakeholders' request, and then at times, budget constraints may be part of it. It's not even maybe, it's part of it. Regulatory updates and AI and automation trends, which I've explained, like we adding an AI chatbot features that will enable users to ask questions, right? So as a result of that, we have to add some changes, and we cannot say no. This is what we are building and stick to it. No, no product remains exactly as it is. We have to be iterating. So next slide, please. The risk of poor change management. Okay, that is the consequence of not planning or managing your change effectively. Okay, if we don't manage change properly, it's going to lead to scope creep, delayed delivery, team burnout, and then conflicting priorities. And as a result, it can lead to rework and wasted efforts, and also lead to communication breakdown. Because when we are not in alignment, the BA is saying this is the requirement. Okay, the product manager is saying this is the product goals and vision, while the technical team is saying this is what we can do. But with effective communication and proper and structured change management, this can be managed. But once these are not put in place, right, it can lead to communication breakdown, in which some teams will be communicating and others will not respond to the on the tool they are using to manage, or on the communication channel. Okay, so an unmanaged change turns projects into confusion. So in this regard, what is the role of a product manager when you are working on a project and managing change? Next slide, please. Please, can you confirm you can still hear me, so I can be sure I'm not talking to myself? Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you.
All right, thank you. So the role of product managers is, okay, thank you, is to protect product vision and then prioritize features strategically. Also balance business and user needs, then make informed trade-offs, and as well as aligned stakeholders. Okay, this is the goal of this project. I'm using GetStop as a case study in the course of this session, right? The goal is to connect homeowners and then travelers together. So the product managers will make sure we are still achieving that goal, irrespective of the change we are introducing. The product manager will also prioritize features using some methods, such as Moscow method, right? To know what are the must-have features, what are the should-have, okay, what are the could have, and what are the ones we won't even use, that the ones we can't, is not really necessary, or we can postpone to the next phase of the project, right? So the product manager ensure that every change supports the product's goals, which is connecting users, travelers, our users in this case is travelers, to homeowners. Okay, so in the next slide, please. So what is the role of a business analyst here? The business analyst ensure that he clarify requirements and then analyze the impact of changes. Stakeholders can tell you, or product owner can tell you that I want chatbot features, but the business analyst will ask, why? Why do we need this at the moment? Okay, fine, it is necessary. Then the product manager will now look at the prioritization method and the impact analysis of this feature on these projects, on the products we are building, so that users can have access to it. And at the same time, we have to be considering that we are not the only one building these products, right? As we are thinking, another set of people are even thinking about the products as well. So we have to look for a way to quickly come to market, let users test it, and then we get feedback from them. Okay, so that is the main reason why product managers, business analysts, and the developers must all be in alignment. So the key responsibility of the BA is just to bridge the gap between business and technical team, right? And then make sure that all the features we are building is being spelled out using the user stories and acceptance criteria so that developers will understand what they are building. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the developers on this page will have to identify what are the technical risks of introducing new features. Okay, can we meet up with the what is the implementation impact on these products we are building? Then developers we also look at the requirements. We look at the solutions that we are building. Can we implement this at this time? Okay, fine, it is needed, but let's prioritize. Let's do the one that is needed, that the users will be able to use, and then communicate blockers quickly. If we have to do this, it's going to delay our timeline, right? It's going to delay delivery as well. Okay, so let us do the ones that we have now, and then let us work on these features, and then we can add others to the next phase. Right? So the key responsibility of the developer is to ensure technical feasibility without compromising quality. Yes, we can't say because we want to add AI chatbots and we just add it without looking at the backend integration of the AI API. What kind of AI tool are we using? All those things are going to be put into consideration. So next slide. What are the change management framework, right? For every change to be successful, we have to adopt some framework. And I identify this as 5-step approach. So we identify the change. What are we changing? What are we adding? What features are we included? What's changed? Why is it needed? Fine. For this case studies, we need an AI chatbot. Fine, it is needed, but is it important at the moment? The most important thing now is that they can see apartments, they can see homes at different locations, right? And then send a message to us. We can still receive message via email, and then just that we have to be on standby. There are automations we can put in place that will respond to emails immediately. Then we look at the impact. What is the timeline of introducing this feature into this product at the moment? What is the budget? Do we even have the budget at hand? Because we need to pay for some tools. What are the dependencies? Okay, look, we are building this product, right? Sign up and AI chatbots is dependent on sign up. If they can't sign up or have access to these products, they cannot even ask AI any question. Then what is the UX implication? What are the users' experience? How are users seeing this? How are they able to navigate the platform? We can't say because we are adding new features and making things difficult for our users. Okay, so the third step is to prioritize. We can use the Moscow method and business value analysis. Okay, what is the must have, should have, could have, and won't have? Looking at the business value, what value is this feature giving us at the moment? What is the business value of adding this? If we don't have this feature, won't the business or the platform work effectively? Okay, then we communicate. During our sprint review, stand-up, and stakeholder updates, we communicate. We are adding this feature. Is it necessary now? Let's postpone it to the next phase. Let's launch first before we even add this. Okay, then implement and monitor. Once we launch, you track outcomes, measure impact, and then we adjust where necessary. Next slide, please. So in this world of AI, and then using different frameworks, fine, we are using agile framework to build products, but agile enable us to iterate fast, make us to be adaptable and flexible. But on the other hand, control Control makes us to have clear governance, documentation, and then structured process. We can't say because, okay, we are in the era of AI, we need this, let's add it. There must be control, there must be documentation and formal processes. Okay, next slide, please. So what are the tools and practices that support change management? We have different tools that we can use. Okay, for instance, we can use Jira to track progress, to record our user stories, acceptance criteria, and as well also track record. Assure DevOps to look at the pipeline of our work from the developer side. What are they doing? And then they will be able to also keep some documentations there. Then Monday.com, Trello, to know who is doing what. And then the useful practice is backlog refinements. Once we are adding or working on something, after prioritizing, then we like, okay, this is what we are working on. We refine our backlog regularly. Then we plan on the sprint planning. This is the sprints we are working on this week. Then we look at the red logs. The developer look at it. What are the risks of adding these features? What are the assumptions, the issues, and then the dependencies? Then there must be a change request document. Okay, who asked for what? Who said we should add this to this product? Next slide, please. As I've explained earlier, as much as we are in the era of AI and we build on speed and automation, right? There's the human in the loop aspect of it. We must not say because AI can change everything, then we just start changing everything changeable or adding any features to the products we are building. There must be human judgment and strategic thinking. There must be strategic thinking, and then the stakeholders must be in alignment. They must be in alignment. When you are using AI to generate a lot of things, look at the ethical aspect of it. Look at the bias, the fairness of AI in what AI is generating for you. Fine, AI accelerates execution, but we are the one, we, the people, the tech team are the one that will give direction to AI. Next slide, please. So, as I've been saying while on this session, I've used GitHub as a case study. So I'll just give you an overview. I've explained the overview of what AI is, GitHub is, and why we are adding different features to the products and platform we are building. So next slide. So for this session, the key takeaways is that change is normal. Okay, it is normal. When we know that it is normal, we are going to put structure into place to prevent chaos. Then we communicate to reduce resistance. Once communication is in place, no one want to work on a particular deliverable. Everybody will want to deliver his or her deliverable. Then we collaborate so that we can improve delivery. So as much as we know that we are working with agility, we are agile team, but we still need control. Agile still need control. You can't say because it is an agile team, you say this, we had it. You say this, we iterate. No, we still have to document. We still have to put processes in places. So the strongest tech team are not those that resist change, but those that manage it strategically. So next slide, please. That is the end of my next one before this group discussion. Yes. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, please kindly ask, or any clarification. Thank you.